'cause I told myself I'm gonna come on here and I'm gonna come on here no matter what, even if I gotta be real, even if it's a bad day, you know? So,
I know it's been a while now. You're taking off in parts I've never heard of. I'm trying to figure out how I can show you now how I've been running out of things to.
hey Glam, welcome back to my channel. I'm Talent Love if you're new here. Yeah, please like this video, comment down below, and drop me a heart because we're about hearts around here. Look, I got hearts. It's the MTV Valentine's. Well, it's not even a Valentine's Day shirt. It's just a heart shirt. But I'm about hearts around here, showing all the love. So drop me a heart down below and consider subscribing to my channel if you found, I don't know, if you catch a vibe from the video. So, y'all, I almost didn't make this video. Let me set the vibe. It's 7 p.m. Friday. It's like, no, it's Saturday night. And I'm dropping this Sunday morning. So by the time you get this, it's the next morning already. But I'm sipping water in my Stanley or whatever. And I'm just chilling. And this video almost didn't get filmed. And I'm going to tell you why. Like, I almost didn't make a video. And I felt like I'm, what's the video version of writer's block? Y'all get what I'm saying? I felt like I had that, but it's not, y'all. It's really, I was being avoidant. So it's so much stuff that I want to tell y'all. But in order to tell y'all stories, I feel like you have to know so far back, right? And the reason it's important for me to tell these things that I want to tell you guys is because I feel like the stuff that I've been through will really save somebody or make you feel like you're not alone. And the reason that I believe that is not because I feel like I'm so great and magical and important and I'm, the one out of 7.8 billion. It's just that there's things that I went through that I thought I was alone in. And people that were saying, like in my real life, that were saying they were going through it, I just felt like they didn't feel me. But then I would come across a video. There was a time or two that I came across videos where I'm like, okay, so this is really a thing. I'm not, I'm not alone. I don't have to feel like I gotta hide this or whatever. And so because of that, that's why it's important for me to make the videos. Um, it's something like I really want to touch on. I don't know. So I decided that instead of not making a video, I'm gonna make a video telling y'all my mindset and why this video almost didn't get made, like this current video. So that's technically what this video is. But y'all, let me tell you, it's one of the things that has been the bane of my existence. Bane, I think it's bane. Whatever. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Was having a covert narcissist for a parent, okay? Um, and I used to battle so much with saying this because out loud or in my mind, in general, battle with it because it's like she was so great for so many things. And when I was a child and unable to make my own decisions, I was the best thing ever, for the most part in like my early childhood. Because, babies don't really refute things or 3, 4, 5 years. You're not really refuting these. You kind of got to do what your parents say or you kind of just want to be around them. And I just remember thinking back now at an early age, there were times that I had this weird disdain. I don't know. So I was just I had did some research, upon my digging or whatever. trying to figure out like why the stories that I was looking up, why the therapists that are on social media that would talk through themselves having narcissistic parents, like the things that they went through. And I found like with doing research, because I had to do so much research. Y'all gonna shake a little bit because y'all on my bed, but I'm gonna try to keep it still. But I found with doing research, y'all, that most narcissists are people in the public eye or that do really, really important jobs. And because they want to be seen, they want to be a hero. I'm not saying that like all doctors, preachers, lawyers, foster parents or whatever. I'm not saying they're all narcissists, because there are really good people in the world, or even celebrities. I'm not saying they're all narcissists, because y'all know I do music. But I'm saying that like that those industries, like the jobs that get you a lot of recognition, those are filled with narcissistic people, okay? And it's not everybody, but it's filled with them. So once I realized that and that became apparent to me, it started helping me separate all the good deeds that my mother would do outside of the home versus the things that would happen within my home. So yeah, I didn't really it's so many layers, you guys. If you grew up with a narcissistic parent, I just want y'all to know y'all not alone. Let's just go ahead and put that out there, okay? And if you did, you can understand that it's so many layers to it. Like it affects you in so many ways, from how you treat yourself, how you let other people treat you, the spouses or like, relationships you pick. It's like you will keep attracting that same person, and you'll realize, I don't know, like I feel like everybody who really goes digging at a certain point, it might take you a while, but you'll realize like I attracted that same narcissist again, or covert narcissist, you know? So that had happened to me for a while. And then I'm also an empath too. So a lot of things I could blame my dating life, like when it comes to my dating life, on me attracting the same type of person because I wasn't healed. Only I did once I became aware of that, y'all, I really did change that. I was able to do it. I changed my energy and everything. Um I when did I start that? Around 2022. Was that the summer of 2022 or 2021? I think it's the summer of 2022. Y'all, once I figured that out and I really started learning, because I figured that out, I learned how to address certain things and start to heal myself in the ways that I needed to be healed. I started attracting different friends, different men, different business partnerships. Like everything is different now because I figured out what was what and what wasn't. And I was able to internally change myself so I could attract who I actually was. With that being said, y'all, one tool, if you can do this tool that I'm about to tell y'all about, do it, okay? Like, if you can juice. Don't do like all the fruits and stuff like that. My baby sister will advocate for those. But for my personal experience, if you can juice, and I have a theory about juicing, y'all, that's like so long that it's way too long for this video. I'll make a video about juicing, and like, just not, oh, drink this juice and breaking down the ingredients. Not like that. Not like that. I'm going to make a video about juicing and what I believe it stands for, like how adjacent it is to spirituality. So, the reason I say juicing heals you is because, and I'm not talking about going vegan. I'm just talking about juicing 1 to 3 days a month. Okay. Because when you juice, you're putting things in the juice that are grown from the ground, right? Grown out of the dirt. It is grown from dirt, water, and sunlight. Only God makes those three things. Like you can't make dirt. Can you make dirt? Water. You can't make water. Like Like, you can't, like, I dare somebody to try to make a candy flavored water. Like, you can't. Sunlight. You can't create sunlight. So with the dirt as above, I mean the sunlight as above and then the dirt so below. I call it Jesus water because you literally are pressing the things that are only grown by God, right? That are only created by, God, and then you're drinking it, right? So you're drinking like something that's going to put you at the highest vibration because it's lightweight, it's pure, right? You guys, anytime I juiced for 1 to 3 days, I would come out looking like heaven. Like, my skin would be perfectly clear. Like, I would get compliments on my skin, and then I would get people coming across me. Like, y'all, it'd be strangers. There's no way they could know that I was juicing, and these wouldn't be compliments I would get throughout the year because, how it is when you don't know somebody personally. You be like, all right, how delusional are they? No, you guys, I would be chilling and I would just come off a 1 to 3 day juice cleanse or whatever. And I'd be like, all right, cool. And I would still be drinking the juices first thing in the morning and carrying on with the rest of my, like, regularly scheduled dieting or whatever. And I would get people that tell me stuff like that. I'll never forget this girl. We had to be together for a while. Oh, this is when I was doing Uber. And she was in my car the whole time. And I was just chilling and just because it make you real serene, right? And I was chilling and at the end of her ride, she was like, can I tell you something without being weird? And I was like, sure. And she was like, your aura is just so pure and peaceful. Like, you have a really great aura. And she was like, your energy is just, I don't know how to explain it because you didn't even say anything besides hi and how's your day. And I told her, I was like, I understand. And I told her, thank you. I also had a 90-year-old guy on the same day. I will never forget this day. He could barely even see, you guys. Barely could see. He was from New York. He had an accent, everything. He was like, I'm from New York, like talking. And when he got out, he was like, I just want to ask you, are you vegan or something? And I was laughing to myself because obviously I'm plus size. And I'm not saying you can't be plus size and vegan, but y'all know. Come on, like if you go for real vegan or raw vegan, like that weight gonna fall off like yesterday. Okay. Yesterday. So when he said that, I was like, no, and he was like, you vibrate really high. He was like, I could barely even see, and it's like your energy is so nice and kind. And you guys, I take my energy seriously. And let me tell you in a sense that I take it differently. Because I hear people talk about taking their energy seriously in their space and whatever. And I get that. I do get it. But I take it differently in a way where I don't ever want to do nobody wrong. Like, especially at that point. Now, you guys, it's a little different, and I'm gonna get to that. But I would rather, like, any man I have ever dated can quote that I have said this. I would rather die than cheat on you. I don't know what that's about, y'all. It's not even about loyalty. Oh, I know what it's about. It's that I've been cheated on before several times. Like, and the devastation that I felt, like your heart being wrenched and feeling like it's just being pulled out of your chest. Like, it hurts so bad you just don't even want it in your chest. So, I mean, anymore. I wouldn't, why would I ever want to cause somebody that pain? Why? Because then what am I? And then for nothing, not for nothing, you guys, it really matters to me about my own character. Me. So, like, when I'm in any relationship or whatever, like even my friends will tell y'all, I'll be like, I'll be sorry. I'll be sorry. I'll be sorry. Because it's just like, I'd rather keep my friends. You know what I'm saying? My friends that I have now, they are really sent by Christ. So I'll be the sorry one, unless you just being like, you just being ridiculous, then, whatever. I'll just be like, ew. But yeah, I don't believe in doing people wrong, not intentionally. Nah. I don't believe in that. And so I don't know, it points me to why this video almost didn't get made, you guys. So I'm like still pulling apart pieces. So my mother passed away July 29th. And I thought that like so I had to prior to that, I had to stop talking to her. We were talking when she passed away, but prior to that, 2 years before, I had to stop talking to her 2 times, like, for a while because my mother would just lie on me and tell ridiculous lies, okay, that would crack me up, and I would be like, "What the hell?" And the reason I would know she would lie on me, you guys, is because she would tell so many people. But the reason she would lie to me is because she was, like, severely overweight, okay? Now, I'm overweight, no fat shaming here, but she was severely overweight, like, Doctor Now, my 600-pound life, overweight. And you guys, when I watch them and I watch how they operate on that TV, and I'll see they'll have kids, like, bringing them things and doing everything for them, it really makes me sad to see the kids suffer like that because it's like you birthed the kid to make them responsible for you. Huh? You know? So, with that being said, I noticed patterns about them by watching that show that I had going on in my life. They like manipulate everyone to bring them food, but they trash talk the other people. Like once somebody gets sick of their shit, they will, whatever. If you get what I'm saying, like say whatever they have to say to get the next enabler to come in and do whatever, right? So, just keep in mind that I'm saying this, you guys, because all of these things are going to go into all of my videos when I do talk about this. I'm not going to make every video about this because who wants to do that? But I am going to say what I have to say and document my life, the parts that I feel like on my channel based on how I want to help people because if somebody find my video, kudos and they, if it makes them understand certain things about themselves in their life and make them better so that way they don't have to suffer like I did. So anyway, her birthday was February 20th and I didn't know how to process it and I had to like be selfish on that day and just be to myself because it was just so many things where it's just like there's business that I had to stand on when it came to my boundaries, you guys, but it still doesn't make it easy to live with. I wouldn't go back and change how I handled her, but it still does not make it easy. And I was like, damn, didn't know it was still like, I didn't know it would hurt this bad. Choosing yourself hurts, you guys. And that's the part they don't tell you. They be like, oh, yeah, you got to do what's best for you. But they make it seem like, oh, you're going to do what's best for you. Then you're going to go live off in the sunset. And sure, maybe that's some people, but sometimes there's situations like mine where you do what's best for you and it still aches every day. And it hurts that you had to do it that way, I don't know if it's just an empath thing or if it's just a thing in general, but anyway, her birthday came and I was just occupying myself, staying busy because I had a lot of business that day. And I was like, I'm gonna just do that. It's only 24 hours and I'm gonna move on because I felt like I should have been making a post or something, But then I'm like, I wasn't in the mood to do that because then people would have been reaching out to me like, oh, are you okay? This and that. And I don't want to talk to y'all. That's how I feel, y'all. I don't know if it's a Virgo thing or what. It got to be because my baby sister said the same thing. We were screaming laughing because I talked to her 2 days later. But it's just like, I don't want to talk to y'all. That's how I was feeling. And half of the people that would have been asking don't even care for real. And I don't need you to care. I just need God to care. That's how I felt in the moment. But then my aunties, they reached out. Y'all, I didn't even tell nobody. But my aunties reached out, both of them, and they were like, are you okay? Or whatever. I was just checking on you. It's your mom's birthday. And at that moment, I realized like I needed somebody to care. And I do this thing where it's just like, because when you're hurt badly from your own, the person that raised you, and they like taint reality for you, it becomes really hard to decipher between what you need and what you don't need at times. And so I didn't even know I needed that. So I'm glad they reached out because it changed my whole mindset. And I was like, that's crazy. So, it was good. And my one of my aunties, like, she knows my boundaries, and she's so respectful, and she knows, like, yeah. She knows, like, where it's like she could feel me. Like. So anyway, that happened, and I was just thinking how I know it's so many people out there like me that like had to make decisions, but then they're still grieving their decisions. Even if you wouldn't change it. So I just spent the day reflecting on how my mom was her life was her life, and no matter how much you don't agree with somebody's life, it is their decision and their right to do whatever it is that they want with their life. And I just spent the day thanking God that she ever existed, because I wouldn't exist without her, no matter how you spin it. And so I just thank God for all the lessons and all the laughs and the times we had peace, because it wasn't always horrible. It wasn't always. So just things like that. And then I don't know, there's this thing that like keeps happening to me. And I don't know if you lost a mom, then you know what I'm talking about. Like, I suffered like a lot of losses, like back to back with no break. As y'all saw in the video, I'm gonna link it right here. My video on where I've been, and I told y'all this time it's different. I'm not leaving y'all alone this time. Y'all can't get fucking rid of me. But 'cause I told myself I'm gonna come on here and be. I'm gonna come on here no matter what, even if I gotta be real, even if it's a bad day. So I lost a lot of people, and all that time I was gone like so fast. And I couldn't even process the last one before the next one would happen. And with each of them, I would grieve them, you guys, like in a way. And my best friend, when she passed with my godchildren, she was so spiritual like me, y'all. Like, that girl heard God like nobody's business. There's so many stories I have for y'all. Probably take my whole life to tell all this stuff, but I knew she could hear me because I was like, it's white on my face, y'all, because I just washed my face. But I knew she could hear me because, y'all, I was like suffering when she passed. And we talked like every other day for like 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. I don't even know where I found that kind of time, but that was my sister. And that was my sister's sister. My baby sister was through. Like, that was our family. My mama was through. And my mom was a hero in her story. So I just felt like when they passed away, y'all, I was like, dang, like with her specifically, it hurt so bad. I told her, I was like, hey, if you got any rank up there, like, please come help me, because I can't do it like this. Not like this. Like, I'm not going to be able to function. And y'all, I swear on everything, immediately, like as the days, I want to say over the next 2, 3 days, as I remember it, I started not to feel nothing, but not in a numbing way where I was trying to block out my emotions, where I just got peace with it because I knew her. And it's just like, she was like, hey, I'm still here. Like, it was the vibes, like, because she never ever wanted me to suffer. Like, I would call her if I was suffering with something in life, y'all. And this is why Leo girls will always be one of my favorite zodiac signs. But she would like listen, and there was times I would think she didn't even hear me, but she would hear me and she would get it. So hers wasn't as, it was 3 people, but it's like her spirit made it better. So with everybody that passed, like my grandpa, my grandma, and then her and my godchildren, it was like I would make some kind of peace with it after a while, though. And although it hasn't been as much time that like since my mom passed, since them, I have this thing that happens, like, I will like be like living my life normal. And it's like my heart will drop like I'm going down a roller coaster. And I'll just be like, I can't believe my mom is dead, you know? So that, and then like I'll always be like, where did her spirit go? Like, where is my mom? So I've had people, like I've known people who've lost parents and things like that. And I really didn't understand. But one thing about it was I was so nice to them. Like I would just, if they wanted to talk about it, I don't care if they wanted to talk about it 50, 11 times. Y'all, I'm one of them people. I used to work with this older lady and she it's not funny, y'all. But it's only funny because how everybody else would react to her. She had this cat that passed away, and I had never had a cat up until that day. And if I did, it was briefly. And her cat had, I think the cat had been gone like 2 years. And she would just talk about that cat all the time, but in a sad way. Like she'd come in and be like, I'd be like, hey, how you doing, girl? And she'd be like, I was just thinking about cat and I was crying this morning. And I remember my boss at the time would be like, oh, and like they would be running from her. Like, and I would just listen. And I would sweep, and then they'd be like, "Oh, you don't think she's annoying? We just walk away from her when she say that." And I'm like, and then I remember I was 17, y'all, and I was like, "Well, I just figured like," they was like, "How do you sit there and listen to that?" And I was just like, "I figure if she talking about it like every other day, then it must be really hurting her." So that's all I thought. So yeah, I would, they were ridiculously funny, but I still was like, "Dang, what if I'm the only person that she had to listen?" I ain't got nothing else to do but sweep the floor anyway and vacuum, so why not listen? So, shoot, I don't know. I will always just be nice to people that was grieving, people. But I had a homegirl, and shout out to you. She probably watched my videos. So I know she subscribed, but I don't know if she watched my videos because we ain't been on like that lately. But just life. But her mom had passed away, and she would always talk about her mom for 3 years or whatever. I met her on the internet, and she would tell me how like people she would date would get annoyed, or her friends, like her best friends, and like there would be times where like when they get angry at her, they'd throw it in her face like, you won't even get over your mom dying. And I would just be like, what? And even though I couldn't understand, I would still be nice about it. And here's why I couldn't understand, y'all, because and I remember having this conversation with this guy I dated, and I was telling him, like, even if you feel like you go cry every day over somebody dying, your brain without your consent is gonna like move on. Like, come on. That's how I felt because I would see people on social media just like post their grandfather like every other day and be like, oh, I'm dying out here without you. And it'd be like, it's been 50 years since you died. And I would be like, all right now, bro. Like, right? Because I didn't understand. Because with everybody else, it was different until it was my mom. And it's like my mom was my best friend. So could you imagine when I had to cut her off, how that hurt, when you got to stand on business. So, um, I find myself trying to figure out where's her soul at. And I think it's because it's the soul that birthed me. And I remember when she was like, I used to always tell her nice stuff, even y'all, even when I wasn't like on with her or whatever. Like I would always tell her nice stuff. And I would be honest. Like I told her maybe a month or two before she passed away, we was talking on the phone. And I was telling her how if I have a baby, I want my baby to look like her. And every time I would tell her that, y'all, she would act like I never said it before and be like, what? That's so sweet. Like she would act like I never said it. But even though me and my mom, we would like fall out, I love my mama, like loved her. And I thought my mama was so pretty and so cute and so chocolate. Like I thought she looked like a big doll baby. And I never cared about her size. I cared about that she could be mobile, right? So even though I don't want to be like big my whole life, I don't care about other people being big or whatever. Like whatever you want to do, that's you. I feel like people are themselves and you shouldn't make every person be the same. That's weird to me. And I would feel that way if I was a size 2, which I will never be. But if somebody's a size 2, don't change them. So what? Let them be them. That's them. That's their body. That's their genetics. So what? We don't have to be the same. And I used to just think she was a big doll baby and she would smell so good. So, but yeah, I would always tell her like nice things or whatever, certain things like that. And I remember I had talked to her today, before she went into like, it wasn't a coma technically, but it was. And she was, oh, her friend had just was dying. And I remember I had heard everything she had said about me, y'all. Everything. And I was thinking to myself, when she called me, I was like sleeping. And I was like, oh, what is she on? And when I answered, she was like, you was sleeping? I'm like, yeah. And then something was like, just ask her what's wrong. And I was like, what's wrong? And she was like, my friend is dying. And I remember thinking to myself, out of all of those people she talked trash about me to, in her saddest moment, she still only wants me. And so I was like, and and then when I had got off the phone with her, I just felt like I got on myself because I was like, man, why did I allow someone who treated me badly to have access to me? But, God has his own plan because look. But I find myself, like I said, looking like for her soul. I'm like, where's my mama's soul? Like, where's my mom? And I don't think I'll ever stop looking for her. When I was 5 years old, like, this is so funny. Like, y'all be nice to y'all kids. Like, this, y'all, when kids cry for their parents, I used to work in a preschool and it used to bring tears to my eyes. And my boss used to be like, oh, girl. Because when the kids would cry for their parents when they would leave, I would feel them because, y'all, I always tell this story. And I used to tell my mom this story. And my mom would be like, girl, it break your heart like that every time still. And you 30. And I'm like, yes. Cause my mom, it was just me and her for the most part. My dad, he was like in and out. I knew who he was, but he was in and out. And it was me and my mom. And so I remember my mom, I knew this lady, we would hang out with her. Her name was Miss Candy. She was so sweet. So sweet. And she lived across the street and I would see her all the time. I would go over there and hang out with her and her daughter. Her daughter was grown, but I would hang out with them all the time. Y'all, my mom decided she wanted to go to the club that night. And I understood she was going to a party, but I didn't really get it. So my mom got all dressed up and she used to wear berry lipstick or red lipstick. That was her jam. And then she'd paint her nails the same color, right? My mom was the original glam girl. And she used to always be like, how did you figure out how to do your makeup so good? And I'm like, y'all know them makeup packs that Ulta still sells them, but like where you like, it's like a briefcase, but you could open it up and then like whatever, and have like the lip gloss, the nail polish, the eyeshadows and stuff like that or whatever. My mom will only want the lipstick and the nail polish, but then guess what that left, y'all? For me. Highlight, lip gloss, the brow pencils, eyeliner. So I was playing with the other stuff that she didn't care about. So that's how I got so good at the face. And so I told her that. She was like, I never even thought about it like that. Anyway, my mom had got all dressed up and she was like, you're going to go stay the night at Miss Candy's house and I'm going to take you there. And I was like, okay. She was like, and then my friend is going to come pick me up. Like, I don't know what homegirl came and picked her up, but they did. She was like, my homegirl going to come pick me up. And I was like, all right, cool. So, I remember Miss Candy was so sweet. She was like, my mom was like, you're going to go to sleep. Look, y'all look at me. She would be like, you're gonna go to sleep and I'm gonna come back in the morning. And y'all, I'm laughing because y'all, this straight really still break my heart. I don't think I'm gonna be 90 years old telling this damn story. And I heard exactly what she said. And I believed her. But when I saw her leaving and then she was waving and she was like, bye, Portia, about to get in the car, I remember like feel at 5 years old, I felt devastation. And I was like, my mom is never coming back. And I was like, she's never coming back. So it made me sad for like when people have kids and they be on the road with music and stuff like that, or you know, the kids that have social anxiety real bad where their mom dropped them to daycare over and over again. And they go through that every single day. Could you imagine that trauma, being traumatized every day in the same way? That's hell on repeat. So I used to like y'all with kids when they cry about their mama. I really like be empathizing with them. So if y'all have kids, be nice to them. Like if they don't be like, oh, that like yeah, they be all right, but they really be going through it. Cause I remember. So yeah, but yeah, so I think that I will just always look for her, you know? Always look for her. And then I used to take care of her even when she wouldn't be the best at taking care of herself, you know? And I don't know, I took pride in that too for a long time. I feel like at times I would feel like it was starting to become my identity and then I used to fight it like crazy, you know. I always really wanted to be independent. I really think it's like it's just my nature. It's like Virgo nature. I just want to be I heal best alone with God. Me and God do our thing, you know. And I feel closer to God like that, you know. Like he talked to me. And he always got me. He always saved me. He always spared me. He always makes sure I'm straight. So, and if I tell, like, y'all, let me tell you something. The angels, there's something about Virgos. We're going to get into it, y'all. Speaking of, y'all, when I used to think something like crazy stuff, y'all, people have done things to me and insane things happen to them. Insane. Okay. We'll go down the list one day. And I remember thinking, like, what the heck? Like, you know how people like, oh, God don't play about me. Y'all, it's something about Virgos. Don't do a Virgo wrong if you know them. I don't know what it is. I had this talk. I was talking to this lady. No, I had come across this video. And the lady was saying, look at this. I didn't have nothing to say and it's 37 minutes later. We're gonna wrap it up soon, y'all. But I feel like this is a video you can watch if you know you ain't got nothing to do and you just getting ready or you just chilling and cleaning or whatever. We just going with the vibes on this channel. But the lady was saying how she was just talking about zodiac signs and she was saying how her homeboy, one of her best friends is a Virgo man. And she was like, y'all, on everything I love, don't screw over a Virgo. You gonna get it bad. And she would talk about like how any girl he dated that did him wrong or something crazy stuff would happen to them. Like crazy. And I was like, okay, so it's just not me. Y'all, why I met this Virgo recently, I was talking to her. And she like had, you know, her time, whatever. And she was saying like from her younger years, I was like, with you being a Virgo, have you ever had anything crazy happen? Like that's unexplainable after somebody really tried you. And she was like, yes. She was like, every one of my children's father that did me wrong is dead. And I was like, I believe you. I believe you. Y'all, it is so insane to say. To the point where when I started catching on around, was I 31? Yeah, 30, 31, y'all. I started really catching on because it'd be like, person does this thing like devastating. I'm not talking about like, oh, they said something slick to me or call me a bitch or something. Not like that. Like they'll do some really foul stuff. Person does this thing and then I'd be extremely sad and I'd be crying, talking to God, and I'd be like, the angels, if you can hear me, y'all. And then it'll be devastation immediately. Or time will go by and then I will get like it'll come back to me. It's like God always put me in the face of it, or God sends them back to me to like they don't know why they're coming back to try to, whatever. Or God will I will find out. I'll find out. And it'll be like they'll be in misery. And it got to a point where I was just like, somebody did something to me and I just started praying in my kitchen because I told y'all I don't like seeing people like that. At that time I was really like that. And I would be like, "Oh Lord," because of the stuff y'all that would happen. And I would be like, "What the heck? What?" So, anyway, yeah, don't mess with, don't do a Virgo dirty, y'all. Don't do it. Don't you do it. So, but anyway, y'all, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. I have rambled on enough. Um, if you are, oh, this is the one last thing I wanted to tell y'all. Y'all, I do this in real life too. If any of my friends watching, they gonna crack up when I say this. I'll be like, this the one last thing. This the one last thing. Um, if you something happened to you and like y'all don't sit on y'all stories feeling like you have to shut up because you're gonna hurt people's feelings that did whatever to you, or people that's cool with the people that did things to you. Like, no, there is no way that you have to suffer and then feel like you have to shut up too and be silenced. Absolutely not. Like, heck no. So I just wanted to put that out there. That was my whole reason in making this video. If you speak on it, I always say in my story times in the past, y'all go watch my story times. I say in the beginning, I say, I'm gonna tell the story time how it happened, not how I wanted it to go, because I'm not gonna lie, in some story times, I didn't do the right thing either, okay? But I told her how I went, not how I wanted it to go. And everybody, life is a movie and everybody plays a role. Whatever, if they chose the villain role, then hey, that's what you chose, baby. I'm gonna tell it how it was, because people need to know that they're not alone. And then also, you guys, one thing I'm sick of, I have been sick of this years ago in my 20s, how people act like heartbreak is not detrimental and then they be confused as to what happened to people when they spark off or go crazy or whatever. Now thankfully I'm in touch with my star player, but it doesn't mean it don't hurt. Like, why do people think that people supposed to go through breakups or get played real bad and then like get over it? That stuff ruins people for the rest of their lives. Like, and then it's just not enough emphasis put on it for me until you see and I'm not victim shaming at all, but you see a dude, you know poop poop pew, I don't know what you can and can't say on YouTube anymore, pew 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 somebody head off, and that he was dating because he or she done played with them one too many times, right? And or future them, okay? Like that girl that's speaking out now. I don't know that situation or whether she's lying or not, but let's just say for the sake of this video, if that situation is true or any of the girls that Future dealt with, the situation was true and something happened, Lord forbid, that, you know what I mean? Like, we don't put enough emphasis on it. It's just like you supposed to, whatever. And then also the church too. And I believe in Jesus Christ, but I feel like the church acts as though that's not a thing, like, oh, it's just marriage, this, that, that. Like, they don't cover enough gray areas for me. And I love the gray area. Like, I am invested in the gray areas so much that I'm literally writing an EP called The Gray Area. So it's just stuff like that. Just things. So anyway, you guys, I love y'all so much. I don't know what the hell this video was, but I'm going to drop it anyway. Because I was being me and I'm being raw, and I'm just not, I ain't done it for a long time. I ain't apologized for being me in a long time, y'all. Y'all ain't seen me in a while, but I haven't apologized for being me in a very long time now. And so here we go. Here you go. Do your video. If you feel it, you feel it, and shout out to you. And if you don't feel it, this wasn't the video for you, and that's fine. Maybe you come back for a funny story time or something, or when I'm doing a day in my life cleaning my room or something. Maybe like the cleaning videos with the coffee montages and stuff. But no matter what you watch me here for, I'm thankful that you watched. So anyway, you guys, I love y'all so much. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Don't know what it's gonna be. Yeah. Glam Girl out. Huh?